And good morning again. Well, it is fairly quiet on the streets of Ukraine this morning, but the situation is far from settled. For the latest, we're going to go to CBS News correspondent Holly Williams. Holly?
Good morning, Bob. There has been a week of bloodshed here in Kiev. We've seen deadly clashes between anti-government protesters and riot police, which has left scores of people dead. But yesterday, the demonstrators woke up to discover that they were suddenly in control of Ukraine's capital. The riot police had simply melted away, and the Interior Ministry, which controls the police, said it was now on the side of the protesters. Ukraine's President Viktor Yanukovych has fled the city. We believe he's now in his stronghold in eastern Ukraine. There is a big geographical divide in this country. In the east, they tend to favour close ties with Russia, as Yanukovych does. But here in the west, the protesters say Yanukovych is corrupt and dictatorial, and they aspire to join the European Union. Now, during these 3 months of demonstrations, Russia has traded insults with the EU and the US. They accuse each other of interfering in Ukraine's politics. The country's parliament voted yesterday to sack Yanukovych, and then there were extraordinary scenes as the protesters took over the luxurious presidential residence just outside of Kiev. So the demonstrators do seem to have emerged victorious. The problem for them is that Yanukovych refuses to go. He appeared on television yesterday saying there had been a coup. He said he was still president, and he compared the protesters to Nazis. But with Ukraine's security forces now apparently on the side of the demonstrators, it seems just a matter of time until Viktor Yanukovych will have to acknowledge that he's been defeated.
So, Holly, who is actually running things right now, or is anyone running things?
No, it's a very good question. The Parliament voted yesterday to elect its Speaker, Alexander Turchinov, as acting president. So if you ask the Parliament, he's in charge. If you talk to some of the protesters on the square, they'll tell you that they're in charge. And Viktor Yanukovych clearly thinks that he's still the president. The reality probably is that Yanukovych will have to admit that he's been beaten fairly soon. But I think that the protesters will probably stay out on the square until those elections that are scheduled for May.
All right. Well, Holly Williams, thank you so much, Holly.